All right, guys. So before we get into today's episode, I want to take time out to give credit where credit is due. I want to give props to the program that helped me get where I am today. There would not be a tech job, Tina, here talking to you about how she went from being an SDR to an AE in 8 months without this program. That program is Course Careers. It's a self-paced, affordable course that you can take to help you get into an entry-level tech role. Now, I took tech sales and I never looked back. But hey, maybe tech sales is not for you. That's okay. They got other entry level tech roles that you can choose from, all at a very affordable price. And I'll even help you make it even more affordable by giving you my discount code link so you can take an additional $50 off of any course that they offer. And they also have payment plans available. So for those of you on the fence looking for a way to break into tech, I am a walking, breathing testimony that it works. So get off that fence and go get your tech job. Peace. What's going on, guys? It's your girl Tech Job Tina coming back with another episode. Today's episode, I'm not going to make it too long. I just want to do a little bit of a recap. So for those of you that watched my last recap video, I did a recap of, my 3 weeks experience as a new account executive here in my company. And in that video, I said, well, I'm on ramp. There is no expectation for me to close any deals my very first month in ramp. I spent half of the month training and the second half actually on the sales floor. So I really only had about 2 weeks on the sales floor. So there was no expectation to close any deals. But I had set a personal goal to try to close one deal in February, right? So how did it go? So y'all know February was a short month, right? Short month. So I was going into the week. I had 4 days to try to meet my goal, right? I had contracts out that I hadn't got signed yet. I had no idea how it was to go. So guys, I closed my very first deal on Wednesday, February the 28th. I was like down to like the 11th hour, right? Closed that one deal, right? So I was so happy. I met my personal goal, but didn't stop there. Not only did I close one deal in February, I actually closed 2 deals in February. Let me tell you one thing that is really cool that I really do enjoy, and I got to experience it for the first time. When you're an account executive, sometimes you'll have contracts out and you're hoping that your customer signs it. They've given you the green light. They've told you that yes, they want it. You send the contract out. They don't always sign it right away. In fact, sometimes you have to continue to call them, hey, kind of soft touching and checking on them to say, hey, did you get the DocuSign? Hey, just following up. Hey, just checking in. You might have to do a little bit of that before they actually sign, or sometimes they'll just sign it, right? So for this particular person, I had been calling them. I said, hey, you're going to be seeing a DocuSign come over from my team. When I know that it's sent, I'll courtesy call you and let you know you should have it, doing those little touches and things like that. So after I had done the courtesy call to say, hey, you should have that DocuSign. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll be happy to go over it with you. That phone call, he was like, okay, cool. I'll take a look at it. So that whole day goes by. I don't see no signed contract come back, right? Then the next day comes and I don't see a signed contract. So then I got to follow up again. Hey, just following up with you. Have any questions on that contract? Haha, you know what I mean? Just doing those soft touches. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to get into it. So you're walking this fine line because you don't want to bug them to death. And then they're like, they're getting on my nerves. I'm not going to sign it. And, and you do want to be top of mind with them as well. So you're trying to walk this thin line between not bugging you too much, but still being top of mind, right? Is what you're doing that dance, right? So for the guy that signed, I was working on something else in my office, and the VP of sales said, hey, did you just close a deal? So I went and I looked and I saw he had actually signed the DocuSign. So that was amazing. That was the first deal. The second one, I had sent the contract out. And then a couple of days that went by, he hadn't signed it yet. And then when I came in the next day, I saw that he had signed it last night. This was on the 29th, like the very last day, that night of the month, he signed the contract, which is cool. So that's always a nice feeling when you show up to work and you open your email and you see that you've got contract signed. It's like a little dopamine hit, that I noticed. So I really enjoyed that. That was pretty cool. So here I am, first month on ramp. I closed 2 deals. I wasn't required to. I met my not only did I meet my personal goal, but I beat my personal goal. So very happy about that. And then, man, March the 1st was on Friday. First day of March. I do have a ramp quota to meet for the first day of March. It's a small one. So here it is, first day of March. I'm thinking, nothing's going to happen today. I'm just going to run my day, run my demos. Fridays are always slow. I ran a demo. I had a guy that's very interested. I sent him the contract. I was like, he probably, if he's going to sign it, he ain't going to sign it till next week. Send the contract out. 15 minutes later, he signs it, right? Just like that. And I was like, oh man, when I saw that email come across, your DocuSign has been completed. I was so happy, y'all. That deal that I closed on the very first day of March met my ramp quota for the whole month, man. So I've already met my ramp quota for March. Everything else coming in is going to be gravy. And it's just going to go towards my annual number, which is something I want to talk about. So, okay, so when I was on the SDR side, we had a monthly quota. Every month, this is your quota, and it starts over every month. On the AE side, we have an annual quota. You have an annual target that you have to hit by the end of the year, right? And then, of course, you still get paid monthly commission based on what you close per month. So to keep you on pace to meet your annual target, they'll say, well, monthly, we want you to hit this number every month just to keep you on pace for your annual quota, right? So that's the way this is like an annual quota, not necessarily a monthly one. Although you do want to stay on pace by hitting a certain target every month. So that way you're pacing to hit your annual number. That's the way it's set up, right? So every deal that I close every month will go into that annual target quota bucket, basically, right? And so I get paid every month for what I close. I get 10% on every deal that I close. And of course, we have accelerators too, just like on the SDR side. When you go past your quota, you go into accelerators. On the AE side, when you go past your quota, you go into accelerators. And then you also get incentives for certain types of deals that you close, right? So that's the way that's kind of set up. So yeah, man. So that was a really good feeling, man, to get to close that deal on Friday. So I closed a total of 3 deals last week, right? So really happy about that, man. Kind of amped to go into the first full week of March to see what's going to be happening there. Really can breathe a little bit knowing that my rank quota has been hit and that everything else I'm kind of putting in the bucket is just going towards that annual number. So that was awesome, man. So another thing I want to get into too that I've never really talked about is how my pay changed when I went from an SDR to AE. So as an SDR, my salary was a $45,000 base with a $65,000 OTE. And of course, I was always exceeding my quota. So of course, I was on pace to make more than $65,000 a year because it was uncapped commission. So here I am over on the AE side. I am a small business account executive. My base pay is $55,000 a year, and my OTE is $105,000 a year. So within 8 months, I've given myself quite a raise. So very happy about that. Now, one thing I want you guys to kind of take into consideration, especially those of you that are looking to be AEs, there's so many levels to account executive that can be tied to how much money you can expect to make. On the SDR side, you have your averages. You can easily say, oh, well, on average, you'll make 45 to 55 base and 65 to 80 OTE. That's average. Account executive money can be all over the ballpark, right? The only thing I can really say on the AE side, anything typically less than a $50,000 base on the account executive side is going to be low. But other than that, 50, or it could be all over the board, right? Your OTE could be all over the board, right? So SMB AE may make less than a mid-market AE, and your mid-market AE is going to make less than an enterprise AE. And then you have strategic account executives. You have so many different types of roles. And depending on what type of AE you are and what type of company you are an AE for, your salaries could be all over the place, right? Enterprise is the big dog. They get paid the big bucks. That's where the guys are making 400, 500, 600, sometimes $1 million a year in W-2 income. Those are the enterprise account executives. It takes years to build yourself up to be able to go enterprise level. Most AEs are account executives for 4, 5 or more years before they can get into the enterprise level, right? You got a lot of money on the line, a lot of big commission checks coming off of that enterprise on the account executive side, right? So just something to consider. So starting my account executive career off as a small business account executive. Definitely have plans to just soar from here. But that was my recap, man. 1 month down as an account executive here at my company, just trucking right along. And we're gonna see what happens, man. So far, so good. So definitely want to lay that out for you. I know I hadn't talked about the salary, so I just want to put that out for you. That is what my world looks like now. I'm at a $55,000 base, $105,000 a year OTE with uncapped commission potential. So that's all I got, man. See you guys next time. Peace and blessings. Bye.